Welcome to the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise podcast with global sales trainer and professional speaker, Lois Kofi. Each week, it is her goal to share inspiration and education for you to be, do, have the best health and wealth and wisdom for your life.
Well, all right. Happy Friday. This is Lois Kofi with another episode. This is our live podcast show that we do every Friday here on Facebook. So if you are tuning in live, welcome. Our live studio audience has the opportunity to always ask questions of our guests, to actually get to meet our guests. And if you are listening to this on iTunes, welcome. You can also find me at healthyandwealthyandwise.com, as well as my Facebook community, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise Facebook community, where you can meet these guests, these real, authentic, amazing people with amazing messages that are here to help you, the salesperson, the entrepreneur, the small to medium-sized business owner, be able to connect with these people. Because I always interview every single Friday in my live show, and this will be up in iTunes by Monday. I always interview real people who have stories, who are authentic, and who actually use their skills and their gifts in their career to help you have amazing businesses, lives, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially. That's the name for me, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. And hello, Kim. Kim is joining us. Kim, let us know where you're tuning in from. If you can do hashtag live in the city and state or country, because we have a global community. I would love to hear where you guys are tuning in. So today, I have an amazing guest. I just met Josee this year. She lives here in Southern California with her family. And today we're talking about how do you create $1 million personal brand image. This is huge, guys, because everybody's online right now. Everybody's on Zoom meetings, StreamYard, you might be doing Facebook Lives or LinkedIn Lives. And I'm actually in the process of just starting the process and hiring Josee so that I can things up a notch myself, just being totally transparent, because I believe I have a multi-million-dollar business inside of me that needs to come out, and I believe a lot of you do too. So I'm going to go ahead and just shut my trap and turn it over to you, Josee. I'd love for you to share, your background. Why do you do what you do?
Okay, well, so I'm Josee Brisebois. I'm a personal fashion stylist and branding expert. That's how I like to call myself. And the reason I do what I do, oh my gosh, it starts from way back when I was a little girl. So what happened is I had a very low self-esteem as a little girl. My nickname in my family of 4 girls was Chubby. And yeah, it made me kind of not like myself at a very deep level. Like I always thought there was something wrong with me. And what happened is I started school, elementary school. And, fortunately, my mom put us in nice clothes. And because of that, I got attention from all the other kids that I would have never had imagined, especially feeling crappy the way I was feeling, but I was still treated in admiration, like me and my sister were like the little queen bees at the school. And it really made me understand from that young age, I'm talking 7 years old, it made me realize the power of clothes and the power of how you present yourself not only affects how other people perceive you, but it really affected how it made me feel in return. And so honestly, if it wasn't for this, I don't know how much lower I could have gone in my low self-esteem. You know what I mean? That so helped me to build myself up. And from that young age, I put so much emphasis on the way I was dressing, throughout my entire life to accomplish so many things. I've done so many things that I'm proud of that I don't think I could have done if I didn't look and feel really good about the way that I present myself. And that's why it's kind of a passion of mine to help other women. I help men too, but especially women, to really gain their confidence, exude confidence. And, I say I help women gain their confidence back from all the bullies they've encountered in their life. And that includes ourselves mostly, because we're our worst critic, really. So, when you start like dressing to feel good about yourself is the quickest way to feel better about yourself and to start having more success and to change your life. And that's not the same. You have to do the internal work for sure. But the quickest way that personally I've found is this.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, fits really well because I know you are a very deep person and you're not superficial, and it's not just about how you look. It's really because success is an inside job, and health and wealth and wisdom is a journey, to be sure. And you're so humble. I kind of wanted to let you go through your process, but guys, she didn't say that she's also been a television newscaster. She's been a Hollywood actress, starred in a feature film. So she's actually had a lot of, success, right? And I would have never, ever guessed that you were called chubby as a kid and that you would have struggled with self-esteem because you just come across with such passion and authenticity, which is probably rare for Hollywood, right? But you're such a passionate person, and you do so many good things for people. Can you share maybe and I know we're gonna share some visuals, guys. But before we get to the visuals, I'd love for you to share maybe any success transformations that you've seen with your clients that you can think of. I mean, I know Jenny Harkleroad. I've seen what you did with her and how she's skyrocketed to a six-figure income business, before and after. So I've personally seen it, but can you share any success stories that are really powerful?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. I mean, the one that I like to tell, just so that it makes people understand, like, really the impact that it has. I had this one client. He was very qualified and he was waiting for his promotion. He'd been waiting for over a year and he just would not get his promotion. And so then he decided to work with me. And after working together, and I made him look like the promoted part that he wanted, because that's what you need to do. You need to dress for where you want to be, not where you're at. And after we did this transformation, he got his promotion that he wanted in 3 weeks, not 3 months, 3 weeks. So that's just to tell you the power that the way that you present yourself has. And also mainly, I mean, just to give you another example, I work a lot with women entrepreneurs mainly. And so Jenny, she went from not feeling so sure about the way she was dressing to when she told me she goes on stage, people were like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. You look like a rock star. And she said, I sold 40 grand in a 40-minute talk. That's because she looks the part. And another client, she increased her 3-day events by at least 200 grand because she up-leveled her image. So it's there's more and more and more. I could go on, but I don't know how much time we have. It's just amazing to me every time I see it.
And it's obviously an investment, but I consider it like you're talking about. You're kind of shifting my paradigm. It is like a personal development investment. I spend $2,000 a month on my business coach, right? Because I see it as an investment that's going to pay off. And investing in yourself, ladies and gentlemen, is so critical. And I never would have thought of you as kind of almost like a life coach or a personal development coach, because I mean, do you feel like that? When you take someone from point A to point B, do you have psychological or emotional conversations, or is this just strictly it just happens as a result of them getting into those new looks?
I do. Definitely. It always depends on the person, but definitely the way they feel like definitely comes up in the conversation, and everyone is different. They all have their different issues and things that's going on that they want to work on. But yeah, it's an internal work as well. But mainly the way I like to say it is I work from the outside in. So really, when you see their best potential, their best selves, the best version of themselves, it really like creates a shift in the mind. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, because that's what this podcast is all about, guys, is wanting you to be and become the highest and best version of yourself. And I'm curious, has your business really taken off because of COVID and Zoom and people having to figure out how to look on camera and lighting, or what has it done for you this year?
Well, honestly, when it first hit, I was like, oh my gosh, well, I might as well like just stop working because no one is going to want to, no one was thinking about dressing up, right? The first 2 months. And it was really quiet. But then it really picked up, and thankfully, and yes, because I think people are realizing, okay, first of all, when you're doing videos online, you're online. It takes people like less than 2 seconds to scroll through your videos, scroll through your image. And if you don't look like, a credible, successful expert in your field, you are losing, there's no telling how many potential clients are scrolling through your image. So it becomes so important to really like pay attention to the way you present yourself, because as I always say, it's not because we're shallow people. Like, we all value the internal, the person inside, but you're, they are wired to like the pretty shiny object. So if someone is gonna like see someone that looks a little like shabby and someone else that looks like shiny, you can be sure they're gonna go for the shiny object, right? So that's why it's so important to really pay attention to the way that you present yourself.
That's so true. I mean, I always teach about energy and vibration, and like attracts like. A lot of times sales happen more because you believe in yourself and you've raised your vibration, that whole law of attraction. And sometimes it's the flaw of attraction. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't dress for success, dress for the occasion, I can totally see how, and it's not meant to be a negative statement. People will judge you. And people will size you up, so to speak, both energetically and image physically. So I'm really excited to get to know you. We've got some of your fans that are on here giving you shouts out from Quebec, Canada. Kim and Rebecca, hello.
Oh,
Awesome.
Yay. Hi, Kim and Rebecca.
So if anybody joins us, if you have questions for Josee, this is, I'm going to go ahead and have you actually, because I know this is such a visual thing. I would love for you to not only talk about, but show us, how do you teach someone to create $1 million brand?
So I have some images to share, because an image is worth 1,000 words. So I thought I would like share some images real quick, just to give people an idea of what it takes. So
awesome. And I know people that are listening and tuning in on iTunes, if you're listening to this later at a later date, you can always find this video on my YouTube channel, or again, inside of my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise community. I do think this is powerful. So here you go. We've got beautiful pictures up here on the screen, guys.
So basically here, I wanted to show you a generic image of people that try to look nice, but it looks very generic, and that's not what we're going for. Yes, they look somewhat professional, but it's not, except for this guy with his backpack. It's pretty funny, but you'll show later. But so, and then I wanted also to talk about this lady. She's not a client of mine, but I just wanted to make a point. Like, she's a very successful speaker coach. And she wanted to look professional, which she does, but she also kind of like wanted to just blend and look professional, and she was struggling. And then she decided to brand her image, and now she looks like this. And now this lady makes, her name is Kristen Thompson, and she makes like over 7 figures because of her. She now has a clear idea of who she is and what her brand is. And I just wanted to make a point of like how much branding is important. That's a client of mine. That's her before. And she's a very accomplished trial attorney, but also a very creative one. She wants to teach other attorneys how to become attorneys. And so this is representing her creativeness. She's not going to wear this in the trial, but that's what she's going to wear to meet with clients. And they're going to, like identify with her creative side. That's another client. And that's him now. So I know, what a big difference, right? So this is a speaker. Who do you think the people are going to call to speak on their stage? The guy on the left or on the right? It's so important to look the part. And I just wanted to show here, like TEDx, you were the only speaker who had a brand, every single detail that was so obvious. Like people notice when you have a brand. So, okay, the other thing I want to touch upon is how to look like the part, not just like about your brand, but the part. So I want to touch upon, the fabrics, the kind of fabrics. So see this guy, like more casual pants, the shirt that's like not ironed. And it's kind of like the same guy, but wearing like a much more polished attire. Same thing with this woman. All the fabrics is too casual. There's not enough structure. This is the exact same kind of outfit, but the polished version, because she has structure. The fabric is on point. It's nice. So this is, I call it the 100% polyester dress. And I see so many women wearing this that it undermines their image. I want you to see the difference between this. Okay, so you see how it's thin fabric. It doesn't sit like super well. It has a cheap feel. So we can't escape polyester. But if you want to go for polyester, you have to pay a little more. And it's always possible to go for sales. I always shop on sale for my clients. I find amazing quality garments that are cheaper than what you can find at Macy's. So that's what a polyester dress should look like. More a thicker fabric, like details here, like that it looks more expensive. So I really just wanted to show images. And then finally, I wanted to show, this is like what a unique personal style looks like. Like, don't try to look generic. Try to like with her white pumps, and the tuxedo jacket, and you don't need to wear a suit either. Like, this is so cool and stylish. If that's your brand, there's so many ways to do it to represent who you are, your unique self, basically. Oh, well, we can talk about this later. I'm going to stop the share.
That was awesome. That was beautiful. Like you said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And in your case, a picture is worth $1 million. So for someone who's interested, and we'll share, Josee has a free gift for all of my guests here today. So stay tuned at the end for that. But where does someone start? Obviously, besides hiring you, have any quick tips for our guests today who are really like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I'm hiring you, albeit later than I would have liked, guys, because I've been talking to her about this for months and like, I'm crazy, right? And so I'm finally committing to Josee in November. So stay tuned. I'd be a new version of me very soon. But where does someone start?
Oh my gosh. Well, the first place to start is to really start asking yourself some questions. What kind of image do you want to represent? Like come up with like 3 words that would describe the image that you want to represent. And then go to an honest friend that knows you really well and ask, even 3 friends would be ideal. And ask those 3 friends, when you look at me on a daily basis, what image do you feel I project? What are the 3 words you would use to, describe me? And so see, do these match with the image that you want to project? And if they don't, what is it that you can do to bring yourself up there? And the other thing is, start cleaning your closet. Start cleaning your closet and see what are the clothes that you have. Does this represent the image that I want to project? And if it doesn't, get rid of it. Make space for newer and better things. That's where I would start.
I was going to say it's a good time to do that, guys. I think everyone is because of this pandemic. I know for me, I've become way more humble, open, vulnerable, transparent about certain situations that have gone through here. And I think a lot of times before this year, a lot of people, you feel like you have to put on a happy face, or you have to have this facade of perfect whatever the BS that we all buy into and the media hype and all that kind of stuff creates. But guys, you have friends, you have people in your life that, it might be scary and may put you in a vulnerable position. But if you ask for help, I remember one time I did something similar. A coach that I hired challenged me to say, Lois, go to your top 20 friends or 10, whatever, and say, what are my 3 greatest strengths and what are my 3 greatest weaknesses that you see of me? And I was terrified. So that exercise that you're giving these guys is brilliant, because we don't see ourselves in the mirror the same way people see us. So
and the reason I said ask an honest friend is because people love to give compliments because it makes them likable, right? So if you go out and you get, I got so many compliments on my skirt today or whatnot, like that's not what I'm talking about. Because as I said, people like to give compliments. You need to ask an honest friend, like really honestly, what is it that they see in you? How would they describe you? Because we don't want the like, you always look so cute. No, you want like an honest opinion.
So in other words, don't ask your husband or your partner, does this make me look fat? Don't ask that, because they are going to lie.
No.
Sorry, guys.
That is like, that friend that is like just sometimes too honest. Like, just ask that friend.
Well, and that's an honest thing. If you don't feel like you have any friends like that, you need to find new friends. So this is a whole nother level of a conversation, but that's a brilliant thing. And then we have more time, and it's the change of seasons right now, depending on where you're living and where you're tuning in from. But I know we have Canadians here, even here in California, it's gotten chilly at night. So it's time. I was just doing that with my daughter's clothes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think we have to go get the colder wardrobe out of the closet. And instead of spring cleaning, it can be fall purging and harvesting and getting rid of and donating and going and finding those sales that you're talking about. Do you have any quick tips on how to find those sales? Because a lot of people may be on a budget. Life is different. It's the new normal. Do you have any tips on that?
Yes. You guys, now I think this is the best time in history to find sales. And that's because of COVID. Like the stores have been hurting, and now they're trying to get rid of their inventory that's not been selling very well. And the sales are amazing. So you go to your favorite store. Let's say, for example, I like J. Crew, not necessarily because it's my style, but they have great staples. They use natural fabrics. I wouldn't go into that, but it's much better than chemical or synthetics. And then get on their newsletter and see, like, they're going to send like you all the updates on the sales coming up. And there's always outlets I shop at Nordstrom's Rack, Saks off Fifth Avenue, which is the outlet of Saks.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of that, but but even Saks Fifth Avenue, if you go on their site, like people get like, oh my God, that's way too expensive. Well, go take a look. You'll see the incredible sales that they have. Now is like such a good time to shop for better quality for much cheaper.
And they don't have to wait for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, right? You're seeing some pretty good deals.
Yeah,
already.
but and honestly, from experience, the Black Friday, it starts like almost now.
I know.
It starts now. You don't have to wait for that long. They might have like an extra deal on Black Friday, but some companies, they actually have less of a deal because they know people are gonna come looking for a sale and they're gonna sell anyway. So I would start looking now. Now is the time. Like this, if you watch this video now, you're in luck. Go shop.
That's awesome. Well, I know you have way more information and value that we have time to share today. So I want you to talk about your free offer and any other kind of like, how can they find you? Any other closing tips before we get to that final question for you today?
Yeah. So the free offer is a kind of like an ebook, and I talk about how to dress for the camera, how to look better on video and on Zoom. So in it, you'll learn the best colors to use for the camera. You'll learn important yet subtle wardrobe changes that you can make to look your best, to stand out, and to look like the expert on the call. And you'll learn like, wardrobe mistakes that you should not make when appearing on camera. And I also talk about technical key information to ensure that you're fully prepared and more confident when you appear on camera. So it's a very comprehensive little ebook that's all about like what's the best way to wear or the best way to camera.
Awesome. And I'll make sure, guys, that's in the show notes. I'll also comment and post it inside of my my private Facebook community. And I haven't even told you this, Josee, but if it's okay with you, I'd like to put it on my resources pages because it's evergreen, right? It can be, people can get it anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll add it to, if you want to go to loiscoffey.com/resources, I'll make sure it's there by early next week so that if you do tune in and you catch this later in the game, you can always still find access Josee there. I'm really curious though, if you don't mind, if you could share one, you said technical, and I think some people, they're overwhelmed by this idea of being on camera, technology. Oh, and I gotta get new clothes. What's the technical, like, is there a quick tip that you have for making yourself look better on camera technically?
Well, the main thing that will make you look better on camera is you have to go for colors. Colors look the best on camera. Black is the least favorite color. That's not to say you can't wear it, but it's the one that looks the least appealing. And also it's about the fit of your clothes. Like some people, they like to wear loose, baggy clothes. That the camera does not like that. You're just gonna look shapeless. Yeah, those are like I would say the two most important ones. But I go in more details, of course, in that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We wanted to leave you guys wanting more, so you have to go and grab her free resource for you guys. That is super amazing information. I can't wait to work with you, Josee. And I always like to close with my closing question for every guest. Since I put a lot of thought into the title of this podcast, and one day it just came to me, and Healthy and Wealthy and Wise has a lot of depth and meaning for me. And I always like to get my guests' take on, when you hear that phrase, Josee, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise, what does that mean for you?
I also love the title. It's such a great title. Well, I feel like Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise describes pretty much what I'm aiming for in my life. It's kind of like a life, goal, so to speak. I mean, health, it's everything. If you don't have health, you can't be as happy. Wealthy, it's our birthright, as would my business coach say. It is our birthright, and we just have to claim it and bust through those limiting beliefs. And it's just it allows us to enjoy life to the fullest and to have experiences of life that, to me, are more fun than if you don't have the money, right? And then wise, well, wisdom. I like to think of myself as a wise person, and I love surrounding myself with wise people. I think they have a depth of person, how do you call it? They have a depth to them that I just really, really like and want in my life. Because to me, the relationships are very important, and the depth of friendships is so much more important than the quantity. So, as I said, it describes everything I aim for in life.
Awesome. Well, there was much wisdom. We all have our own innate wisdom, and I always like to say we can all learn from one another, and no one's right, wrong. It's always good to get your take on that, especially since you're here today for my community. I just want to thank you so much for being a part of my show today. I do encourage you guys, please join my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise Facebook community. That's where Josee is at, a very positive, supportive community. You can find her there. And of course, I'll have her free gift and more free resources like Josee's gift today. I'm going to start building a massive collection of these on my resources page at loiscoffey.com/resources. And so just tune in next week. I do have, for those of you who have been live guests, I am making a change in the time. I'm going to be going 2.5 hours earlier, so 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 Central Time moving forward. And next week we have Steve Rosenbaum, he's a master at prospecting and closing the deal and the follow-up. He calls it fanatical follow-up. So if you're struggling in building your business and the follow-up, as we like to say, the fortune is always in the follow-up, you're going to want to tune in next week again at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Central. And if you want to get the recording sent to you, go ahead and sign up for my email list at healthyandwealthyandwise.com. So until next time, guys, as we close it out, I always like to say, here's to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom. Thank you again, Josee, for being here today. Have a great weekend, guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, refer a friend, and please drop me a rating or a review. If you do that, I'll reward you with a free 20-minute free coaching session on crafting your journey to your best self. Reach out to me at loiscoffey.com to claim your 20-minute slot. Until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.